Well, hello and welcome to another Daily Dominion. It's Tuesday, so we have a single expansion, and Seaside has come out with almost a kingdom completely full of duration cards. We only have three non-durations here, and there are some neat interactions, especially due to Sailor being around and being able to play your duration cards right away. And yeah, some strong cards on the board with Sea Witch, Wharf, Blockade, Sailor also, Outpost granting you an extra turn, and working nicely together with Sailor, I guess. What else do we have? Well, Cutpurse is a light attack, I don't think all too relevant. Smugglers, not all too nice with Blockade, but if your opponent is well in the game and buying lots of 5-cost cards, Smugglers might be good, but I think it's outclassed by Blockade mostly. And yeah, lots of stuff to do, and I think a very swingy board just because Blockade and Sailor and durations in general tend to be rather swingy off the opening. It makes a lot of difference in whether you find them turn 3 or turn 4. So, yeah, I'm not even sure how we're going to approach this. Probably just some blockade, sailor, fishing village stuff early on, transitioning into some sea witches and wharves. Sailors are important to thin the starting cards out of the deck, as always, and sailors are also really important to be able to acquire these other thingies. Um, Yeah, the problem with Sailor is usually that you want to buy duration cards on the turn you play the Sailor, but on the turn you play the Sailor, you don't get money, only the next turn. So we want to, if possible, have some sort of chain of Sailors going so we get profit off the money and the immediate play of Sea Witches, Wharves, and Outposts, maybe some blockades. Corsair probably isn't going to be all too relevant here as our treasure maps. I don't think we will even consider gaining them. And yeah, the kingdom plot looks as follows. The attack stuff is off the charts just because, well, Sea Witch is a tier 3 attack, in my opinion, and Corsair, Blockade, and Cutpurse combine as they are all tier 2 attacks, they combine to a tier 3 attack, and two tier 3 attacks within these kingdom plots combine to a tier 4 of the whole kingdom. So that's why the attacks seem to be off the charts here. And thinning and village is on the okay side, but not great side. But I guess with fishing village and sailor, you're not going to run out of terminal space all too much. And yeah, the only thinning is sailor after all. I guess your opponent's corsair could thin your silvers and golds that you get, but that's no real thinning, and the alt VP is just coming from the Sea Witch cursing and the blockade cursing, I guess. Now, opening wise, I think we just end up opening Sailor or Blockade Fishing Village. It's really a matter of taste, I guess. You're going to be happy if you see either on turn 3. You're going to be sad if they miss the shuffle or you see them on turn 4. Mm, I think Blockade has a slight edge of being able to put a sailor into your hand on a turn where you otherwise have your full 5 cards, so you're more likely to be able to do something useful with the sailor. So that's why I'd advise for the Blockade, and also might disincentivize AI to go for sailors. Whereas, yeah, on the 5-2, I think Sea Witch Nothing is fine. It's not all too great because you don't get into the Blockade Sailor stuff right away, but you do get cycling and might be able to hit 5 again for another Sea Witch, being able to curse AI early on. Okay, I guess that wraps up the discussion, and we just open Blockade Fishing Village. This is a rather nice draw. As long as we hit 3 next turn, we should be pretty happy. I wonder whether we go fishing village or silver. I think fishing village is fine. And wow, this is an amazing draw now. We do get to hit 5 here and are able to immediately play a sea witch, I believe. We could also just say, okay, we play it a bit more conservative and just go for blockade sailor and then go for the sea witch or wharf next turn. Of course, a draw on the cycling would be nice, but yeah, the more I think about it, the better this sailor play might be, because we will now hit 5 again, and now we're in a much better position to. Let's not play this just yet because we want to blockade it, but we are in a much better position sailor wise, and yeah, we are able to get the sea witch stuff going while also being able to trigger a new shuffle the next turn. Now here we are, I would say we are far ahead already, so we could even opt to just go for a wharf and not care about the sea witch stuff all too much, just go for plain draw on the next turn. And yeah, we have 2 blockades, we have 3 sailors, we have fishing village sandwich that's going well. I think, yeah, I'm tending towards the wharf. It's just a tiny bit more draw, or two cards more draw. Don't really need to slow down AI at this point because we have such a good stranglehold on the sailors. And yeah, finding all of these duration cards off the top of the shuffle there was amazing. So yeah, we get to draw here. We get to have 2 sailors going. And this could just mean that we go for fishing village, we play immediately, and probably wharf that we also play immediately. And this way, next turn, well, we might draw dead on the other blockade, but this way, next turn, we also get to draw again. The only kind of bad thing is that our sailor train has ended, but we are even lucky enough to immediately find another sailor once again. And let's just continue with that game. We do have a wharf down there, but nonetheless, I think it's fine to just keep adding more wharf and keep playing them. And like I was considering going for an outpost, but it's kind of risky, though we have set aside a sailor, so do we want to go for an outpost is the question. I think we want to keep wharfing and then really just thin down everything. Do we want to eat a curse in order to get one more fishing village? I don't think it's worth it. We don't need that much village space right now. And yeah, maybe this should have been a silver actually. It's kind of not, or a smuggler's even. Yeah, this should have definitely been a smuggler's. And nonetheless, we're still very well in the game. We get to blockade and I guess hmm, just a sailor and then decline this. And we can go for an outpost. We play immediately. We can go for a blockade that can be played to blockade one more blockade or one more sailor. Next turn we have the 2 wharfs incoming. We have another wharf that will come out of duration land. So, I believe it's fine if we eat a curse here, just blockading another fishing village because we are somewhat running low on terminal space. And yeah, I get to draw a bit here. Do not get to immediately trash the curse, but it's fine. We are trashed down sufficiently, I would say. And we get to blockade yet another sailor. and blockade a blockade. I'd say decline this and play one more wharf. We are getting into somewhat low piles territory, but nonetheless, we are so far ahead in everything. I think we should be really fine. And yeah, the most important thing is that we keep drawing. So we just play one more wharf, and yeah, AI cannot gain blockades and sailors in good conscience without eating curses. So it has to go for that province and is ahead by quite a lot of points, but yeah, we are just ahead in most everything else. And how many of the coppers do we actually want to trash? I think it's fine to trash those three, and then we can, I guess, just go for the plains wharf. Do not draw anything nice. Is this even a pileout already? Like we can go for blockades, blockading sailors, blockading lots and lots of sailors. And now we just buy province estate. And then we are almost guaranteed, no, we are guaranteed to hit 4 next turn, 5 even. We have a wharf coming in, we have a wharf down there, fishing village coming in, so it's really likely that we will be able to hit enough for something like Duchy Sailor. Yeah, I think we go for it and just go for this. Yeah, putting all of these things into our hand. Decline this, and now this is enough to go for a sailor that we can play, which is important. Otherwise, we wouldn't have enough points. But yeah, this went insanely well. 9 turns is also incredibly fast. Uh, I guess it was a bit risky to go for that last for that last outpost play there. Maybe we shouldn't have gone for it, actually, thinking about it. If had we drawn the province instead of the blockade, we might not have been able to end this with a points lead. We actually, I think this was lucky. This was not the way to go to go for all these blockades and sailors. We were just a tiny bit too far behind in points. I think actually really kind of lucked out in the end. But yeah, maybe another way to play it might have been to just calmly blockade some blockades and then rather than, yeah, I don't even know, maybe buy Wharf to have some more draw on the outpost turn and then somewhat defensively just blockade a single sailor, catch up in points and see where that went. But yeah, we did luck out. 9 turns is insanely fast. I do like our wharf, our focus on wharfs instead of sea witch stuff, just because we were ahead. But if we hadn't been ahead, then maybe going for curses might have been better. It was a pity we never got to trash down that single elusive curse, and yeah, I don't know. It was just a crazy fast game. Wow, 9 turns. Didn't expect that. But yeah, also another note is that we did have some of the dream turn 3 draws, like and turn 3 and turn 4 draws, like getting that blockade immediately, then hitting 5 even on turn 4. Although we didn't make use of that 5, we just bought a 4-cost card, which even in hindsight I think is the correct way to go to keep that sailor train going with blockading sailor. And then, yeah, we also were lucky on turn 5 in that we drew like the fishing village and the blockade right away, which also wasn't guaranteed. So yeah, we just got supreme draws. AI didn't do that much wrong, I'd say, apart from maybe going for too many blockades early on and fishing villages. Like, fishing villages are important to have in your deck here, but not as important as getting out those 5 cost cards going. And of course, skipping Sailor is pretty deadly. Although, just going for a risky pileout such as we did can also end up being pretty deadly, I guess. Although, I mean, we were rather likely to find other good stuff. We had some more wharves there that we didn't find. We had some more blockades there. So yeah, I don't know. It allowed us to finish rather fast. But I'm rambling and I should end the video. So I will try to catch you in the next one whenever that may be. And until then, goodbye.